So yeah, we're combining the visual style and nostalgia of old pixel art games with modern beautiful visuals. So we're playing with frame rate in a really interesting way too. It's not something you think would work, but it does. Today I'm watching, reacting to, and breaking down the cinematic language of character trailer Kinich Fiery Pursuit from Genshin Impact. I've had so much fun covering the recent Genshin Impact videos with Malvika and the other characters and trying to catch up on some videos that I missed. So here we are. This is going to be a lot of fun. If you enjoy our time together, make sure to check out some of my other cinematic breakdowns. All right, Genshin lore masters, let's do this. It's like an arcade menu? What? That is not what I expected. This is incredible. Pixel art being combined with this modern 3D art in a really profound way. Wow. He's using it as a weapon with this like creature. It's amazing. I love it so far. So right off the bat, we're in like an arcade, old school retro game menu. Game start and we're selecting our character. This is awesome. I love how this is literally Mega Man. So what I'm curious about is, are we going to get references to different games? Because this is exactly the pixel art of Mega Man 2 for the NES. It's really, really fun, and it looks like Mega Man versus one of the, you know, whatever, Metal Man or the different guys. So check this out. Are we going to get different pixel art? So this looks like something else entirely. This looks like, I don't know, something for the Super Nintendo, maybe an RPG. What's really cool is you can actually see scan lines on the screen. So this is really interesting because it's a really complicated conversation, but essentially it's this sort of like false nostalgia when you see pixel art that's very sort of rigid like this. You actually see the pixels. It's not actually how we who grew up with that graphical style remember it, because there was scan lines on the old CRT TVs. And what that means is it actually blended the pixel art in a really interesting way, and I'll show a reference on screen. So this is cool to see that they're trying to actually add those scan lines to kind of tap into that nostalgia. So we're blending nostalgia with this really modern 3D art and actually using pixel art in a 3D setting, which is super cool. So I'm going to ask the lore masters what exactly that means. Like, how is this happening? How is this possible? Especially in Genshin Impact, which, you know, traditionally was like ancient Japan, ancient China, sort of medieval Germany. This is super interesting. And now we have like, I love how we have the actual sort of pixel bricks on the screen and this little guy. It looks really cool. So let's continue on. I absolutely love what I'm seeing so far. I love that we're kind of using the pixel art and pixels as objects in the real world. Really awesome. Yeah. Like he's tethering himself and dragging himself. But I love how you see the pixels as like a rope. So yeah, we're combining the visual style and nostalgia of old pixel art games with modern beautiful visuals. And of course, we have chiptunes playing, as they call it, the old music, and it's just all coming together so satisfying. And what a cool, like, it's not something you think would work, but it does. It actually comes together really nice. Oh, this is, of course, what is it, Snakes and Ladders? Pac-Man? So we are getting references to all different games. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, clearly. I absolutely love it. This looks like Chrono Trigger, or rather Sea of Stars nowadays. This looks like a fighting game, Street Fighter, yep. I absolutely love it. This is really amazing. Yeah, there's so much there. I mean, if I could unpack every single one of these, but look at this. He's rolling around like Sonic. They put a lot of work into this, man, because this is actual hand-drawn sprites, as we call it. If you're not from that era, so to speak, they're called sprites. The individual sort of pixel pictures that occur here of each of the characters' movements. So when he jumps, you can see the different sprites happening. Sort of each image that happens as he jumps through, and it's like, that takes a lot of work. Yeah, it's not the same as rendering in 3D. It's, you know, drawing with pixels, but it takes a certain type of talent, a sort of not as common type of talent nowadays too. So I just love the attention to detail and the references. Like, what the heck, man? It's Pac-Man. That's absolutely insane. If you had told me we're going to be seeing Pac-Man, Sonic the Hedgehog style graphics in Genshin, I would have been very confused if you told me that a little while ago. So I love that we're getting all that. Of course, Street Fighter 2 type graphics here. Character selection screen. Let's continue on breaking it down. This is so fun. So we're playing with frame rate in a really interesting way too, and I'll talk about it in a second. That was cool. I love it. So we're actually getting, we're getting this character, this sort of pixel guy, and like the sort of interactions that he has in the world. I'm trying to find a good shot of him. There's a decent one here. Notice how he's moving. He's moving at sort of a slower frame rate, as if he's comprised of those pixel sprites that I just talked about, right? Isn't that so cool? Whereas the other characters are moving like really, really smooth, but they're kind of styling it as if he's made of sprites, which I think is so fun. And just that war cry, like what a cool shot, man. It looks like, you know, like a victory screen from an old fighting game or something, right? It's so fun. And again, these physical bricks that represent the pixels here. What's going on, Genshin Lore Masters? I have so many questions. I love it. Code mission complete. And then again, there's the chiptunes. Yeah, see, look how he moves. See? That is so much fun, man. I absolutely love it. And again, look how he's moving individual sprites. So the cool thing, another observation I want to make is that about sort of chiptunes, this type of music. Listen. Right? It's like, why is that music sound really weird? Well, because it's not a music that's typically made today. Why is that? Well, the only reason it was ever made at all is because of extreme technological limitations back in the day. So they could only use like 2 channels of sound they could like make sound appear on for the regular Nintendo. I think it was like 2 or 3 at the most. So you had like just pioneer legends like Nobuo Uematsu, like Koji Kondo, the respective composers of Final Fantasy and Mario and Zelda, going in there and being like, okay, how can we use this in creative ways? So you have that like super iconic underground theme from Mario that's finding ways to make this like kind of like negative use of the space and everything. Obviously Nobuo Uematsu composing like the most hummable, amazing music ever for Final Fantasy. And then over the years, we got the Super Nintendo, which added more tracks, more channels to that. Then the PlayStation, which added even more. And then it starts to sound like real music a little bit. And then eventually we can just have music files that were recorded nowadays, right? But what's interesting is now when you hear chiptunes like this, they don't have any of those limitations. So they can actually add in kind of like bass and like modern musical tools, but it's in the style of nostalgia of chiptunes. So it's a really cool sort of mix of style that no longer needs to be limited, but just for nostalgic sound. So anyways, I love this so much. Like I said, if you enjoy our time together, make sure to subscribe, hop in Discord, follow on Twitch. Let's break it down. So I had a few favorite shots. This one is crazy because you start to really see, like, look at that. Those sprites, kind of like effects happening on the screen with the pixels and these physical like 3D pixels. So you have pixel art, you have like Nintendo 64 type art, which is like this kind of in between. And then you have this guy who looks like he's made today. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just like, what a cool... And then, yeah, the explosion is pixel art, but he's not. There's just so much fun stuff in here that is really shocking. And then we have, of course, like modern, kind of like manga scan lines and everything like that, or panels, which is really fun. It just looks like a fun character, by the way, to be able to kind of like propel yourself through. And then this, I assume, is all just referential stuff for nostalgia's sake. I assume this doesn't happen in Genshin. If it does, that's crazy. If we're actually able to play these little mini games, but I highly doubt it. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. And then there he is. Yeah, see how he moves in a really interesting way? Those different frame rate, sort of playing with frame rates, as I mentioned. They're just super fun altogether. And what a cool concept. Very, very difficult to execute, I would assume, because it's like, it's a complicated thing to combine all those styles and then like show and cut to the old pixel footage, but still make it like a meaningful character trailers. And we're going to see his fighting style. We're going to see how he does battle if you want to pull for him as a character in the game, which is a modern game and it's not a pixel game, right? So there's just so much, there's so much there, and I'm very impressed with it. It's definitely a hard thing to pull off. So awesome. I love at the end here, we get a little bit of a personality. He has a sort of spren here, like as if he was from the Stormlight Archive. that's always like talking to him and bugging him, and it's a fun relationship in that way, and it makes for a lot of cool opportunity to kind of explore that relationship. Why does he have this companion? Why is the companion only with him and not going to other people? That stuff we'll have to figure out by playing the game, right? But it sprinkles that little bit of curiosity. So you might say, I want to know why, and I want to check out this game. So yeah, it's interesting. I really like it. Lore Masters, fill me in if I'm completely off, but I'm interested in this character and I want to learn more about him. I don't think I've seen him in too many cutscenes, but there was the one where Mavika was like performing in the music. He was there, and there was also when she's kind of past her 500-year journey, and he was there as well, kind of performing, getting ready to fight the void. So very interesting stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, if you enjoyed your time here, make sure to subscribe. Hop in the Discord if you want to chat. We got a Hoyoverse section where people post their favorite videos. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you have a happy new year, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Check out the other Genshin videos I've done. There's a ton of them I've done in the past week. So